Okay, we are live on YouTube. Welcome, everyone. I'll give people a little bit of a chance to join in. Let's see, let me open this panel here. We are live on. Welcome, everyone. Mute myself. So this isn't showing me how many people are watching.
I lost my speaker.
Okay, it does show we're live. That's good.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah, I
not.
can see it on my phone that we're live.
Okay. That's good. I'm just trying to make sure we're live in the right place. So we got a couple of people watching. So hey, if you're watching, let us know. Go ahead and just let me know in the chat. Say hello and where you're watching from. And Adele's here. Good morning, Adele. Happy December. Missed you guys last week. I hope everyone had a good here in the States, had a good Thanksgiving, good break, enjoying the holiday season, staying warm, all that stuff. I know Corinne's staying warm. What is it, like 60 down there today?
Um, it's not, yeah, it's about 60 today, but it's been Florida cold.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's been in the high 30s at night and 50s during the day, maybe if we get to 50. But
I
we're in for a couple of warm days and then it'll get Florida cold again.
Yeah, I I would take that Florida cold any day.
Yeah.
The wind's been blowing. It's been below 30. It's freezing here.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
supposed
no,
to get some nice, we're supposed to get some nice weather next week, so I'm looking forward to it.
that's good.
All right, well, let me switch down. So today's prompt is a heart. And this is my like 5-minute heart right here. So I'm hoping to do I have something a little bit different in mind for what I'm doing this morning. And I know Corinne, you prepared something to do this morning too, which I think is going to be fabulous.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna add a little, like you added a little red. I'm gonna use a little pink sherbet, I think, in mine, and just keep it
okay.
kind of on the cool side. And I'm gonna use some lift ink
Oh, okay.
and a stamp and put some snowflakes in mine that way.
Nice. I like that idea.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just pour like I normally do, but instead of this kind of look, I'm going to actually go for something a little different. And I think I want to put a little gold in there. And
Yeah, I'm gonna use some silver.
okay, well, that's good. So we'll have two
Yeah.
different projects going. Terry wasn't able to join us this morning. But I'm sure she'll be here next time. So before we dive in today, want to talk about what's coming down the road for us. We are starting a new initiative that is meant to be therapeutic and helpful. And it's a monthly event that will be hosted by Corrine, myself, and Terry Jones over the next year. And we're going to kick that off in January with I'm going to kick that off in January with a vision board. And I'll be leading the first month. And each month, different ones of us will be leading. But when you join in, you get access to a membership website. There's going to be a media vault with a whole lot of resources in it that you can use for your mixed media projects. It's a mixed media, not necessarily alcohol ink, although some of our mixed media projects will probably include some alcohol ink. But this is gonna be more on the mixed media side of things, and you'll be able to, do repurposing of things and I don't know if I'm selling it very well here. Maureen, you might be able to add a little bit better to it. About, kind of the whole like premise behind it and the purpose. Because this is creating art with purpose. Do you want to chime in or?
Yeah, I think that we're creating a community where we can all come together and learn and grow and share and kind of just focus on our art and our connectedness with each other and our creativity. So just like with the alcoholic experiences, we'll have a monthly theme, we'll have monthly prompts, and by being a member, you'll get all the behind the scenes kind of things that we won't be showing on YouTube. So there'll be monthly projects. Yes, the resource vault of information. And we will, every month, we'll be showing different techniques for mixed media, different mediums, and really just coming together as a group of artists to kind of share space and be connected with each other.
Exactly. Very well said. All right. So should we dive in?
We can dive in.
Okay. And again, we're working in our journals. This is our journal challenge. So there's no perfection that's needed here. Just let loose and create. So I'm just gonna flip the page of my journal. And
Yeah, and I ran out of journal pages, so I have
okay.
I have a 5x5 piece of graphics Dura Bright White.
Okay.
And I can tuck this in my little square graphics journal when I'm done.
And by the way, if you ordered one of these journals, they are en route right now I just got word from NARA yesterday that they're en route. So as soon as they get here, they're gonna be on the way to you, hopefully in the next week. So if you ordered one of those, that's coming. I did order a few extras, not many, because they're expensive, but and it's expensive to ship them. But I did order a few extras. I'll have that supply up. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure that you get a link to get yourself a copy of it. All right, shall we get started, Maureen?
Sure. So, Lori, I'm going to be using fairly cool colors for winter, kind of that frosty feel.
Okay.
And so I'm going to use the new flannel, which is kind of a blue, really light blue gray from Ranger. I'm using all Rangers. I'm going to use Bayou, Monsoon, and pink sherbet because it's kind of even though pink is a warm color, it's cooler than say some of the other pinks. So I'm going to be starting with that and laying my background. I'm going to be using Fantastics to both to paint with and to clean with and brush and straw. And we'll see what happens.
And just to give you guys mind, I might throw some things in here, but I'm basically gonna work with a filbert brush. I'm gonna use a Deerfoot brush for splattering and a number 5 round brush. I have some alcohol. I'm gonna be using my sailboat blue and I have some indigo here. And at this point, I think that's all that I'm gonna be using for what I have in mind for this. Actually, you know what, I might add in here a little bit of cloudy blue.
Mm.
Because I want some variation in my blue. So a cloudy blue, sailboat blue, and indigo are what I'm gonna be using. And mine is gonna be just basically painting with a brush and adding textures and stuff to mine. So very simple stuff. All right, I'm gonna adjust my lights a second, but you could go ahead and get started, Maureen, if you would like.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to start with my darkest color, which is Monsoon, and put some around the page. Come on, a little bit up here. And I'm going to add a little Bayou, and it's it's very similar. It's just maybe a shade lighter, a little bit of flannel. And you can see I'm staying out of the middle because that's where my heart's going to go. I'll get a little bit of this pink sherbet in here. And before this all dries, I'm just going to add a little bit of, I have a solution here that's 50% blending solution and 50% 91% alcohol. Seems to be my favorite with the Florida weather. I'm just going to start to let this spread around.
And I am gonna start
Yes.
off with cloudy blue on my page. Just
So
around.
part of the prompt was to be flowy, so we're trying to make it look somewhat flowy.
Right. And I'm gonna mix in some alcohol. I meant to put this down first, but I didn't.
Somewhat blue up here.
And so like blue in here.
I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. Okay, unfortunately, my husband left and left a cat outside who's crying, so I'll be right back.
Okay. And I'm just spreading this around. You know, kind of let it do what alcoholic does. Rock it a little bit to manipulate it. I also probably use my blower a little bit here to move it around, make it dry a little faster. But I want a fair amount of the dye on the paper. So.
That's pretty, Lori. I like those colors.
Yeah, I like the way, you know, the cloudy blue has a little tinge of green in it, but it's not that much that it's definitely not overpowering. It's a definitely like a recessive color.
So I have a Fantastics, and if you haven't used one before, it's like I call it a sponge in a tube. And I just put it in. This is a brand new one. I just put it in some 91% alcohol to wet it, and I'm just going to start to sketch in where my heart's going to go. And I'm just removing the ink and wiping my Fantastics off on my puppy pad here.
So I think this is a really great prompt for creating some holiday cards, you know?
I know, that's what I was thinking, that they would make a pretty card.
And I think it would work for, you know, all of the holidays that are celebrated this time of the year too.
Yes. So I really like this tool for removing large areas of ink, and I can even come in with a napkin and just kind of dab at it. It's fast and easy, and it is great for control.
The Fantastics?
Yes.
Absolutely. It's a must have. I don't mind.
So they come with this pointed tip, and they also come with just like a rounded tip, which also is good for removing ink from large areas. And you can get them usually in a 3-pack, 3 or 4, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's 6 in the pack. I'd have to check. Of the same kind, or you can
combo pack here, and it has 3 each brush. It's got
yeah,
bullet tips, brush tips. So it looks like 6.
Okay, yep. So you can get the combo pack or you can get 6 of either one of them.
Right, right.
And I don't use that bullet tip one a lot, so I usually get the 6-pack of the brush tip.
Yeah, the bullet
And
tip.
they last for a long time. And I'm sorry, Lori.
I was just saying, I think the bullet tip might be good if you're like lifting like a large area out.
Yes. They last for a long time, and when they kind of at some point the tips will get soft, you can actually take a little X-Acto knife and just shave away at it a little bit and get some more life out of it.
So I am using a deer foot here to just sprinkle a little bit of alcohol on here, give it like a background of snow. We'll probably do this a couple of times on mine.
Okay. Oh, my, I'm gonna do silver splatter, I think, at the end. So, all right, I'm gonna come in here. I have a little bit of I think it's the monsoon in a palette here. Hopefully that's what color it is. And I'm just gonna start putting some blue in my heart. And I'm just using a number 3 brush. I'm using the Simply Simmons brushes, which actually it was Sharon Harris that introduced me to those, and I really do
Yeah.
like them.
Good. She introduced me to them as well, and they're one of my favorites. I don't have one out actually. It's weird. Normally I have
They
one.
they hold up well, I think, with the ink.
Yeah. And they're not super expensive either. They're reasonably priced. So
And you can get them from Michaels. I don't have a Michaels close to me, but I can get them from Michaels online, and they're always having sales. So in fact, I have switched over to the Simply Simmons for all of my students and my classes.
good to know. So they held up pretty well.
Yeah, they're holding up well with the students, which is good because I was going through a lot of cheap brushes
Mm-hmm.
with classes. All right, let's get a little more texture in here and movement. And make it a little wider. And darker. I'm just laying another layer of ink down to get this a little bit darker. I'm going to switch over to my pink sherbet. And usually I work out of the big Tim Holtz palette, but there's colors that I have that are not in my standard palette. So I'm working with these little 6-well palettes, and they're very inexpensive, and you can save them. No need to throw ink away. You can save them and just reconstitute that ink with some alcohol.
Yeah, you can be ridiculous like me and save them.
Yeah, I save them.
So many of them. And then whenever I don't feel like cleaning them out because I don't want to lose the ink in them, I put aluminum foil over them and use them.
Uh-huh. Yep. Funky shaped heart. Move it out a little bit.
Oh, I can't wait to dive into the mixed media stuff.
I know, me too. I have so many ideas.
Me too.
I was thinking I do have to find some way to better organize all my collage paper that I've made with my gel plate because I'm spending too long trying to look for the color and the pattern I want.
So I had so many, I went to my living room floor and spread them all out and grouped them by colors. And then I had some, do you know, like when you buy a set of sheets or buy a set of pillowcases, they come in those little zipper
Yeah.
plastic sleeves. I saved those, and when I did, because a lot of mine were 5x7s, they fit
Uh-huh.
in the like pillowcase ones. And then
Mm-hmm.
the sheet ones, you could fit a lot of them into the sheet, the 8.5x11 and larger sizes in there. And so
Right.
that's how I organize them, but I have all these little stacks now of those little plastic sleeves with all my collage papers in them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I, you know, I guess you don't probably buy sheets like super often, but
No.
I've always saved those and finally had a purpose for them.
Right. I get this to look a little more. Adding ink to this, trying to get it to the window's open and it's drying fast. I don't really want it to. It is really funkier than I wanted.
I'm trying to have a lighter
Okay.
area so I can show some dimension in there.
Yeah.
I'm just tapping around with some alcohol on a brush to make that happen.
All right. Now I want to have like some swirls in here. I'm
Now,
just taking a damp brush. Looks like there's no water, no alcohol in it, but the bristles are just damp and just kind of getting some swirls and movement in here. Okay. So now that I have the basics on, I'm going to use my lift ink. So Ranger makes a ink that's a lift ink. It's sort of like blending solution on a ink pad, the best way I can. And so when I take a stamp, I have a Christmas stamp. I don't want to use the whole thing. I just want to use part of it. And I'm going to take my lift ink and I want this particular snowflake right here. I'm just going to press that into the ink pad and then I'm going to press it into my painting and just kind of press down. Be careful not to slide it around. And I'll lift it off. And it's hard to see right now, but there is an impression. You can probably see with the light, a little bit of glare on there. There's an impression of a snowflake. And so I'm just going to clean my ink pad, my stamp off here. And I'm going to pick some other places to put some snowflakes. After it sets for a little while, I'll come back and um, show you how to lift it off and get it back to white. Oh, there's a lot of snowflakes on there. That's okay.
I love watching that ink pad and that lifting pad in action.
I know it's fun. That's good. Now I want one right across these hearts. I'm going to try to get some smaller ones in the corners. So we'll use this corner piece right here. I have another corner. So the one thing about using the lift ink is you do need to make sure that your inks that you lay down are dark enough. Um, and even though mine are light, it's going to fairly light colors, but you have enough ink on the paper to be able to lift something. Otherwise, it's not going to show up. Maybe we'll put some more little ones. Okay. And when you're done, you're going to want to make sure if you use that, that you clean your stamp off before you do it again. Otherwise, the color is just going to come off on your next painting. Okay, so I am going to just tap on this. Oh, Lori, that's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm just
Yeah.
dabbing a darker color around the edges.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it really makes the heart pop.
Yeah.
And I like the pattern you're getting.
Yeah,
All right.
the dots, the ones that are just kind of like soothing and
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it, therapeutic to me.
Painting is always therapeutic.
I should do it more often.
All right, so with the lift ink, you can see I'm just kind of laying my napkin over it, dabbing it. You can start to see on the napkin it's coming up. You do need to keep switching your napkin or your paper to a clean area to keep picking the ink up so you don't leave it. The important thing is you don't want to, we're going to buff it at the end, but we don't want to buff it until we're sure we have most of this lift ink off. Otherwise, it's just going to smear and our pattern's going to smear, and we want it to be nice and crisp. I'm going to test one to see if it's ready before I ruin this whole thing. And it looks like it is. Yeah. And so now I'll just kind of buff off whatever ink is still sitting on there. This is very wintry. I always think it's interesting, Lori, how um, we look at the journal prompts that you've provided, and we all kind of come up with different ways of expressing that prompt through our art.
Yeah, that's what I love about these things, these challenges, because it does come out in so many different ways.
Yes. All right. So you can see I have all these pretty snowflakes in here now. And I think I'll add a little bit of snow cap mixative. Maybe I'll use a dental tool. So these are micro dental tools, and they have a little fuzzy top on them. They come in different sizes. Great for making dots and other applications, cleaning out tiny little areas. And I have some really thick, goopy snow cap. I've let the alcohol evaporate out quite a bit, excuse me, quite a bit. So it's sort of like whipped cream at this point. I'm a little guppy. And I think I'm going to dot some around the outside of my heart, like there's snow on it. I like to look at snow. I don't like to be in the snow.
Same.
My sister sent me pictures yesterday morning from her morning walk with everything snow covered.
Oh boy, where's she located?
She lives in New York State.
Okay, yeah. They've been getting nailed.
Yes. Well, luckily she doesn't live that far north, but
So she's not up near the Great Lakes.
no, luckily. She's
Okay.
in mid Hudson Valley.
Okay.
Um,
That's good. That's a good balance.
yes. And it looked very pretty, but I was glad I wasn't there. I mean, it's nice to look at. All right, so a little bit of snow around there. And I'm going to save that in case I want more snow later. And I think I'm going to paint in this big snowflake with silver. So I have some Pinata silver. I know I have Ranger around too, but
I really love that stencil you used there with that. That is so cool.
oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
Like a little bit of this silver. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is paint this main snowflake in with silver. And I've got a 2-liner brush because that's what I had within my reach. That was small enough. You didn't use any kind of small detail brush. Now the silver is really thick, and I poured it in a well where I had some before that probably dried out. So as we put it on, I'm not going to thin it out. I'm just going to leave it the way it came out of the bottle. And just start to paint in carefully this snowflake. So I want to continue to have this very icy kind of feel.
Good morning, Jeanette. I see that Jeanette has joined us and
Oh, how nice.
Terry's looking at the comments. Hey, Terry, we miss you.
Oh, hi, Terry. We do miss you.
All right. Oh, just wanted to check on that a second. Make sure we
Okay.
didn't have any questions in there.
Any questions, Lloyd?
No, no questions. Everyone's just watching.
Well, I'll be interested in seeing everybody else's interpretations later today and over the next couple of days.
So Terry says prayers for my honey. Oh, I hope
Oh,
everything's read.
yes. Okay. Well, let me think. I want this snowflake to stick out a little more. So what am I going to use? Hmm. Mm-hmm. Here we go. So it'll work. All right, so I want the snowflake to stand out. And so I'm going in on either side of each of the lines. And where it's pink, I've decided I'm just going to put some, looks like there's nothing left in my palette, but there's plenty of ink in here. I want to get it really thick. And just come around this snowflake. Some dark lines. And kind of give it a shadow underneath. So it stands out a little bit. I know I have another palette with this color ink in it.
You can't really tell it, but I'm sprinkling a little bit of pink.
What color?
Yeah, pink.
Pink?
I think it's raspberry. I don't know, it was in my palette, so I just added some alcohol to it. I'm liking the way that's looking. Add just a little bit of different color to it, not a lot.
Mhm.
It looks better in person than it does on the camera though. Now I have to find in this thing here, my gold. There it is.
It's so pretty, Lori. Your highlights just make that heart just
It
pop
made,
right out.
yeah, that was what I was going for. It worked.
Yeah, it did work. It's really great.
I got the pinata gold and shake it up a bit.
That's my favorite gold.
Uh-huh. Me too.
Uh-huh.
What kind of silver are you planning to use?
I'm gonna just use the pinata silver.
Okay.
I'm gonna sprinkle it a little bit. I have sterling alloy as well, which I could use. But it does kind of require that I seal the painting, and I don't really want to seal this since it's a journal piece. All right, so I've got that dark enough that that shows up better. And yeah, I think I'll just grab a brush. Let's see if I have a different one. I'm thinking to myself, let's see if I have a different brush, and I probably have 100. And my watercolor brushes, my acrylic brushes, my ink brushes. And I'd like to keep them all separate so that I don't ruin natural hair brushes with alcohol ink. All right, I'm going to test and make sure I can get some decent splatters. I might have to thin this out a little bit. Yeah. That's better. And I'm holding my hand over the area that I don't really want too many splatters on. Hopefully get it around the heart, which is the objective here.
Also just went to find my liquid pearls. I don't have any gold.
Ooh,
I have colors. This is my
I don't have any of those. That's one thing I do need to get.
they add dimension.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for what color this is though. It's also a
Ooh,
ranger and it doesn't see on the bottom.
it's a Ranger product, right?
Yeah, yes, it looks like this.
Mm-hmm. I do have stickles.
I think that works very similar.
Uh-huh. I could put a little thing in the middle of this snowflake, maybe on the ends of it. Oh, yes. That's the fun of doing journal prompts is we can kind of play and experiment
Exactly.
and see what we come up with.
You let perfection go, you know?
Yes. Because really, although I don't know how many people are watching us, usually it's just, it's just for us,
Right, exactly.
our journal. And we don't have to show it to the world and we're not going to sell it. And if it doesn't turn out, it's okay because it's more about the process than it is about the final outcome. And really kind of getting out of your head. And for me, it's almost like that meditative time. Although I am somewhat of a perfectionist, and so when it doesn't turn out the way I want to, it can be disappointing. I'm probably overdoing this, but I'm having so much fun squeezing this bottle and putting this glitter glue on.
So now that I'm looking at this, at my liquid pearls, I'm wondering, do I have white? Because I might could put some snowflakes in,
Ah,
but I'm gonna skip that. I don't even know.
well, the white is probably going to pick up the blue underneath,
Yeah, exactly.
unless you have something that's going to just sit on top of it.
Here.
So, Lori, I think you're right. These would also make pretty winter greeting cards.
Yeah, definitely.
I love the effect you can get from the Deerfoot brush.
Exactly. And this is the first time I've tried it with a metallic. And it's kind of cool. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
neat.
You just have to twist it around so that you don't have the same pattern everywhere. You
Right.
want like a line. You gotta twist the brush. And if anybody's watching, they don't know what a Deerfoot brush is. It looks like this. And this is a Princeton brand. And you can get it on it. Oops. Where did they go? Oh, there it is.
I got mine from I had the Princeton brand too, and because I tried one from Amazon and bristles. I didn't like the bristles. So so I went with the Princeton and I got it on from Jerry's Artorama.
Uh-huh. But it's interesting, I loaded the gold in the brush and then I tried to sprinkle and it didn't work
Yeah.
so good. It didn't release from the brush very well that way.
Huh. Okay. So it's better if you tap the brush on.
Exactly.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good tip.
Well, I just learned it myself.
And that's the fun of getting together and doing this is
Right.
we
Exactly.
learn as we go and then we're sharing it with each other.
Which makes it that much more fun to me.
Yes.
I don't know. I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
see if I can get
something
this
else.
light down a little.
What yet?
There we go. Just trying to see if I can get this light a little closer, this camera. There it is.
So the Princeton Deerfoot brushes come in different sizes. The particular one I'm using right now is a 3/8 inch or a
Mm-hmm.
9.5 millimeter. Boy, it sucked up that gold like crazy.
Look and see what size mine is. They were a little on the pricey side.
I did buy this set, but honestly, I don't end up using it because I wanted to have all the different sizes if I needed them. I
Of
got
course
this.
we did.
Yeah.
Of course. Mine's a 1/4 inch
Yeah, let's see what sizes are in this thing here.
that I have. And I only have the 1/4 inch and I actually bought 5 of them because I had a class of 4 that I was going to use them in because they're also great to make grasses and texture for sand, as we know from what Vera Worthington taught us.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so there is a number 2, a number 4, number 6, number 8, and a number 10 in this set. But they don't tell me what size that is. So,
Right.
this number 10 looks like the same size as my 3/8, 9.5 inch.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I haven't used them yet, so I can't vouch for how good they are. You know how it is when you get one you like the Princeton I really like. I just end up going
Yes.
with my go-to, so I
Mm-hmm.
haven't ventured further yet. All right. What kind of mess can I cause if I use this? And this is gonna be my journal, which probably liquid pearls is not the best thing to do, but I'm gonna try it just because I'm in the experimentation mode here.
That's right. Just leave it out. It'll dry before you close, and then you can close your journal up.
I do like it. Oh, wow. This stuff is pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. I mean, if you were doing a card, this
Uh-huh.
this is awesome. I'm glad I tried it. This is really neat.
It is. I tried new things this week too. I anecdotally, I took a class in watercolor batik.
Uh-huh. Oh, but
Um,
cool.
batik. So it's on rice paper, and so you basically use the hot wax, which the wax, which then dries on your paper to block out areas that you want to either keep white or you want to keep at a lighter value. So we did a couple layers of wax, and then when you're done, you put the wax, 2 coats of wax over the whole thing, and then you crinkle the paper up so the wax cracks, and then I put metallic watercolor over that. So then as you iron you put your paper in between newsprint, plain newsprint, and iron it with a really hot iron. It makes all that wax melt. And so then the metallic watercolor gets pushed down in through those cracks. And then you eventually iron all the wax off. So it was really cool. And we did it on rice paper that had, I used ones with gold threads in it. I've used that for alcoholing too, but it was fun to learn it. And then I also did a class on painting in watercolor on masa paper, which is another kind of rice paper. So I'm just into learning new things. I like the star or the snowflake. It's a snowflake, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, no, it just took me a minute because the screen's small. I have to make my screen bigger.
Yeah.
Very pretty. So I didn't realize with the liquid pearls you could draw thin lines like that.
Yeah, me either. Actually, I sort of knew because when I did a while back, I did a bunch of trees with it, and it turned out.
Uh-huh.
But what the downside of it is you can't really stack the paintings very well, and you have to make sure you seal it because if you don't seal it, then it will lift up. This liquid pearl will lift up.
Oh, okay.
It will actually peel off.
Okay.
Yeah. But I really kind of like how how the little things are turning out. I'm gonna get my white pen out next and do some more little ones.
Mm-hmm.
I could get somewhere I have a gold marker. That might work too.
Well, since I'm kind of done with this one, I am going to get one out that I started earlier. And I like some of the things I did with this one, so I'm going to add it to the other one.
Good idea. All right, here we go. Let's see what I can. Ooh, why is this thing drawing pink? Be white.
So, see what we can do here. So Lori, what are you using to do that?
This is a permanent white marker, is what it's
Okay.
called. It
So
is.
it's acrylic?
It's acrylic, yes. But
Okay.
instead of like I recently found these and I have to re-find them again because what I found I really like them. And what I found was unlike I've been hesitant to recommend them because I'm still experimenting, but unlike
Okay.
the Posca, though the
Yeah.
Posca kind of like dries out a little bit and it skips a little bit and stuff. This doesn't.
Yes.
It also doesn't seem to blend too much into the alcoholic color as much as the Posca does. It's like
Okay.
it's thicker.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm trying to like make up my mind about it before I recommend it to people. But I'm still trying it.
Cool.
I'll take a picture of this and share it on Facebook because this camera is just not really doing it, giving it the justice that I think it needs.
Do with that Stickles.
Well, this is definitely turning into not simple. Probably should have left it alone a long time ago, but I still like it. But I'm gonna call it done, I think.
Yeah, I'm calling mine done. So this is the one that I did. I'll hold it up so you can see. And it is hard with my camera too to see this, but I have put some silver stickles on the main snowflake over the heart and tried to kind of create a focal point there because there's just a lot going on. And then this is one I did earlier that I just stuck the stickles on. So
Nice. I think
I'm
that
happy. I'm happy with the feel of it. I really wanted that kind of cool, wintry feel, but I wanted some little bit of energy with the snow. Well, maybe not energy, because snow can be very soothing, as long as you don't have to go out in it. Oh, Lori, I love that.
it would look
That's-
really good on like a card or something.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. That's just fun, you know?
Yes, very fun.
Well, Tori, thanks for joining me today and everyone watching. Terry, good. Thank you. Terry says everything. The snowflakes are beautiful, Corrine.
Thanks.
She's cheering us on from where she is.
Aw, yeah,
That's all right, Terry. Next time. Next time.
yes.
You know, I think we might want to switch over to the Explore Mixed Media channel and do something for next week, but um I'll talk to you about it, Corrine, and Terry, if you're around, we'll talk about it.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah, maybe do something to give people a sneak peek of what we're looking for, and also we'll have more information available along with the sign up. So if you want to jump on board with us for that, you can.
That
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Mhm.
So look for the groups. I'll post in the alcoholic experience group and also all the alcohol link groups. Also the mixed media mad group. So if you're not already in mixed media mad, you could join that. Mixed media is so fun. You can do literally you're only limited by your imagination. And you don't have to go out and buy lots of tools, you can do collage work with Elmer's glue that's watered down. I mean, if you want it. Mod Podge is pretty inexpensive.
Right.
And those are some of the things that we'll do a lot of collage with that. So
Mhm.
looking forward to it.
Same here.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week then, Corrine.
Okay, thanks, Lori, and thanks everybody else for joining us.
Yes, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.